Hi, welcome with Dogman Teepee hunting and me, Roxy B. Today's a bit different. Our Friday night files, we're actually away. So we've brought you with us for our little weekend. So this week we are talking about hunting for Dogman, going out looking in the woods for him, and the do's and don'ts. Hoping to have Colin back with us this week. So Phil, I think, is just trying to sort him out with the link. So yeah, I'd just like to say hello to everybody. People that have been in super early while we were rushing around trying to find a supermarket because we come down here, just everything ran a bit late. So yeah, Delroy Kelly, hi. Dawn, thank you very much. We've had a trying week, but hopefully the weekend will be better. Nick Berry, good evening, and Kate, hi, how are you? So yeah, hopefully it'll all go smoothly and everything will good. And I'm running off my iPhone at the minute, so hopefully that's all working for everybody.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Hello guys, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Yeah, we are in Kent. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate that. At the moment, I've just got another guest I'm going to send a link to so he can come on as well. I'm running a bit behind technical issues because there is Wi-Fi here, okay, but we couldn't get onto it. The password they gave us didn't work, so it's like we're running off the hotspot on the old phones. That's what we're doing. So it's a bit, you know, but I didn't want to let you down. We're in Kent for a reason. Let me just quickly show you where we are.
Very lovely.
Yeah, very lovely. So look, we've got a fire pit there. I've got Basil. Basil, say hello. You good boy, Kin. Yeah, Ruby. Yeah, Sheba. She is. She's quite a home princess on her little bed. So this is it. Okay, there's basically a Airbnb cabin. It's that one there. And it's a barn converted. Very lovely inside as well. I shall try. Later on, I'll show you inside there. But I'm going to start the fire pit up in a bit, okay? Because it is not dark, but it's just a nice thing to do, isn't it? Why not see a fire, real fire? Right, let me just put this over here like that. Where are you? There you go. Right, so I'm going to get the co-host on now.
Colin, hello.
Hey, Roxy.
Hello, mate.
I've got bloody Tam as well.
Anyway,
you've got technical issues. I can hardly hear you, and you're echoing.
Am I echoing?
Very bad.
Yeah, it could be because I'm running off of the. I'll tell you what. I'll disconnect this camera and I'll put it onto the other camera.
Yeah.
1 minute. Right, hang on. One memento. There's always something which just like
never goes smoothly.
Star Fox. Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm hot. So I've got 3 fans on, and I'm sweating.
Hot as anything.
Oh dear. That's really sad. We're outside. It's really nice.
That's it. You'll just rub it in.
Are we still echoing, guys?
Go on, speak, Phil.
Yeah. Am I echoing, Cole?
You're better, but you still got that reverberation in your voice. But yeah, it's a lot better than it was. This is coming through to me anyway.
Good, that's right. Well, as long as it's working okay, that's all right. I'm just gonna get a link up. I'll tell you, you want to be out here, Cole. Nice and cool.
Yeah, you just rub it in. Why don't you?
I'll send some over your way. Yeah,
it's absolutely lovely.
I'll send some of this.
You know, very, very nice indeed. Yeah, can't grumble about it. Very lovely. But yeah. I'm in Kent, Cole, and the reason I'm in Kent is because I am going to the Deering Woods tomorrow night. The Screaming Woods.
I remember you saying so. You're echoing again. Keep going, keep going. Make clear.
Are you echoing again?
You seem to be coming all right, Boxy. It's just
Am I coming through?
Yeah. Oh, she's coming through, right? It's just me, is it?
It's not. Yeah, it's just you. You always have been a problem, Phil.
Okay. Right, maybe that's automatic.
Just trying to find a spot.
Right. Okay. Hopefully that might be a bit better. Hopefully, I need to get the other guy on as well. You know, because I wanted to talk to you and Ian about the do's and don'ts and what to look out for, what not to look out for.
Don't become a cryptozoologist. That's my advice.
Yeah, well, you're the man to ask because you've done it. I don't have to bother doing it. It just seems a bit of a waste of time. What's the point of me doing it when you've already done it? You can tell me all the lowdown.
I beg your pardon. Yeah.
Well, I've got this beautiful cabin was part of my birthday present, and we're staying here, and I'm going on safari tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there's one near you, isn't there? I can't remember what they call it. What do they call that place near you? It's
Staying.
Reserve, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's we're going to the safari at Port Lim.
That's it. I remember it now.
Port Lim.
But where we're staying is about. Let's have a look.
Are you up here walking around the safari?
Not far from Ashford.
Ashford, yeah, Ashford. Yeah,
it's only a small place in it, Ashford. There.
Ashford. Yeah, it's only tiny. It's only. It's not small at all.
Phil, you felt there you go back. You did freeze.
Yeah.
I'm just getting the. I've just got to get the guest invites. It's okay. It's okay.
Why are you up twice?
You're echoing really bad. It must be your internet, Phil.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I should be back now.
Oh, that's lovely, Dawn. Just tell her not to worry. She can catch up with it at any point, and I hope she's okay.
Right. Okay. Right. I've sent him that, so he should be on as well. Interesting. So yeah. What I wanted to talk about was I'm going to be camping out. Okay, overnight. Now, in your opinion, do you think that it's it's a funny place where I'm going to go? And I'll tell you why. It's got a story to it. It's got a little story. And you'll find this interesting.
Phil, can you talk into your mic? It's real.
Can you not hear me?
I can when you turn this way, but when you face that way, it just.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So where I'm going tomorrow has got quite a few interesting stories, and let me tell you a couple of them. Right, Deering Woods.
Yeah.
Also known as Screaming
Woods.
In Kent, between the villages of Smarden and Pluckley. They are called Screaming Woods due to reports of terrifying screams at night and footsteps, stroke whispers, during foggy days. So I'm going to be out of luck there. It's not so foggy, really. The only fog will be me vaping. Hauntings. Right? The woods are reputed to be the most haunted in Britain, with reported sightings of black shadows and ghosts of those lost there, including 18th century army colonel and a beheaded highwayman. But there again, every woods, old woods, they've got to have like a headless horseman, haven't they?
Yeah, and they all seem to have that type of theory. Theme, sorry, behind it. there's not just one in Britain, there's a few.
Yeah. I don't know where that comes from.
No, I've never looked into it, to be honest, but I've read the story. But yeah, I've never really looked into it because it's paranormal. It's more your type of stuff, in it, really.
Yeah.
I just read stuff and forget about it.
Is there a question, Colin? Is there a question, Colin?
About Russ. He's a good friend, actually, Russ.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've met, he seems really genuine, does Russ. He seems a genuine guy. I don't really know. I wasn't there, so I can't judge the guy. He's told me several times. I've known him over several years. And he's always adamant it did happen. So, I do believe it seems that way. And he doesn't seem, cuckoo land. I have met a few researchers in that field. I won't go into details. Not a lot of people that do it anymore that I've met that went that sort of like that way. But Russ does seem pretty genuine to me. And he is a nice guy. He really is a nice guy. He seems a genuine guy. So I don't know. You make your own mind up really with Russ.
What happened? What's the basic thing of what happened?
Well, they call him, was it the UFO radar? Years ago, he got abducted. He's been abducted several times. Like I say, I met him years ago, and we've spoken for over the years many times. And like I say, he does seem genuine, and he just say he gets abducted. Tells me the stories, which is up to him to portray. And I don't think he's doing it for money. Because he doesn't seem to get anything out of it whatsoever. So, it's up to what people believe. I mean, some people believe I ain't seen a Dogman, and some people, it just goes on and on, doesn't it? It's
the
story. It's entirely up to there is skeptics out there, and there isn't. So, but he seems genuine to me. I don't doubt the guy. So, you'll make up your own mind, really.
Yeah.
I
don't know. It's
Have you met Russ? Have you ever had any contact with him, Phil?
No, I haven't, mate. No. Unless I have, but I didn't realise it.
Yeah, he lives up in Whitby. He lives at Whitby there.
Okay. I haven't. No, I haven't. Knowingly spoken to him, about.
Yeah, I can't remember what he used to call himself years ago. Something, was it UFO radar or something like that? And I can't remember the name now. Memory fails me at the moment. I think it must be the heat. But like I say, he seems a genuine guy to me. But I don't like judging people anyway. It's their story, and if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. They shouldn't be saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with things like abduction.
E.T. Radar. That was it. E.T. Radar.
E.T. Radar.
Yeah. I think Russ brought a book out, I think. I'm not really sure. I've never heard of one of his books. I keep meaning to ask him. I know he's put a lot up recently. And I know there's a film crew that's gone down to see him. I don't know what type of... I don't know if it's anything to do with the TV or what it is, to be honest. I know a film crew's gone down there recently.
At last. Hang on, I know him now. Yes, where he was dropped on the planet. And yes, that's right. And he was asked, that's right, to fight against these like insectoid alien type things.
Yeah. You see, I'm good friends with Mike Cameron, and he's a fantastic bloke, really. I've known him for years, and he's been abducted that many times, and he's done a lot of work for the military. I can't say on here what he's done. He has told me, but it's not up to me to say. But another guy, he's fake. But another one that seems genuine to me. I don't know. I don't judge people. I do have my own theories. In my head, yes, I think that's fake, and you do get a feeling for things over the years. Like you know when people are, this doesn't seem right, but these guys do seem right. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna, they seem okay. I've spoke to them hundreds of times.
It's one of these things that like kind of it's a very personal thing. Whatever happens, like us seeing Dogman being abducted, it's a personal, always seems to be a very personal journey for that person. So, of course, the corroboration for it is, with abduction, the one corroboration that they often come back with is small scars or under the skin. They have bits and pieces under the skin.
Yeah, Russ has as well. Yeah, he's like you say, it's personal to them. What I've seen, it's personal to me. I'll never forget what I've seen. Even people believe me or not, I don't care. It's happened.
Yeah, it stays with you. It stays with you. And also, a funny thing is, a lot of people who have experiences like that, whether abduction or with cryptids, they suffer.
Yeah,
they suffer from a point of view of physically or emotionally. There's there's almost like a pound of flesh taken from them in some form or sense. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I won't mention him, but he said, "Oh, I can't talk. I can't do any interviews or anything." And he's a real part of like a C5 group and a UFOologist, and but he's quite ill at the moment. And he's been ill for a little while, hasn't been well, but he's gotten ill at the moment. And I messaged him today, and I was like, "Well, I'm really sorry to hear that." And I explained to him, and I said, "Do you find it quite strange, a bit quirky in a way that, everyone that I've spoken to that has had an experience, or be it personal abduction or a personal sighting of a cryptid, has in some way or other been affected inadvertently, which they haven't brought upon themselves by this itself, by the very experience of taking the toll." Have you found
it does affect. Yeah, I found it a lot. It does affect. It affected me, but it's how you handle it and how you train your mind. As you know, I've spoken to you several times, but I've seen grown men cry. And I'll give you an example. I know I've mentioned this a few times, but there's a guy in Hornsey called Tony. I went to interview him. He'd been ridiculed, absolutely really bad. Home, work, the lot. And I sat down, listened to his story, and he says, "Are you going to say anything?" I said, "Well, I'm listening." I says, I really believe you and all that. And he says, "You're the first guy that's really believed me." Anyway, I come to say goodbye. I stood up and he just grabbed me and he just hugged me. He says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." He says, "You can't believe how much I wanted to get that out." And, he was so emotional. And I've come across that several times interviewing people. They do get emotional. Nobody believes them. It's ridicule. My friends have took the mickey out of me, blah, 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 my workmates. And it does get to you, as you know. So I don't know if you have that experience, Ian. Have you ever come across out like that with witnesses?
One in particular, laid up at Cannock. One of the first people I ever got in contact with me through a sort of rival research group, and I talked to him on the phone. He's the one that saw the werewolf in the middle of the road eating a deer at early hours of the morning, taking his girlfriend home. Yeah. And this thing wouldn't move, and he was beeping his horn, and he rammed it gently. He gently pushed the front of the car into its back. That's when he got up and put both hands on the front bonnet, and it went up in the air, and the thing pushed its face right up to the windscreen and growled at him. And then it raised its head because there was another car coming down the road. Let it go. This is 1981, and I was going to see him on a Sunday. It was about 7:00, and we were going to meet up where the incident happened. and he called me just as I was getting in the car, and he was crying. He said he couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I can believe it.
I was like, no problem, mate. You know. But
it is harrowing experience. It really is a harrowing experience.
I had another Welsh guy 10 miles west of Cross Keys, from Sahawi Forest. A 6-7 footer, he was walking out with his dog, and this thing just stood right up. It was dark brown, he said, but it stood right up, looked at him, and then he said he gave him a dirty look, turned around and walked away. But he said he was an NHS nurse at the time, and that really messed him up for a long time. This was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does mess people up.
So I spent
how you perceive it.
Yeah, I spent a few weeks with him, chatting with him and talking about it. And I said it's I talked about my first time I saw one, and it's going up to a whole new level of reality, and you're kind of taking it all in, and suddenly it just opens up an absolute Pandora's box of what else.
Yeah, I like the Pandora's boxes.
Yeah, it's I mean, was it a woman driving around Cannocks, or what do you call them, a centaur one evening?
Okay. Yeah.
Only briefly, because it ran out in the middle of the road, but she said it was a half man, half horse.
That's a good one. I've never come across one.
Yeah,
so put it in mythical legends, but no, that's a good one. Have you got that story? Have you got,
I do you remember? I was going to see a lady on Sunday. Like, she used to be a scientific researcher for a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, you told me.
And she's very much into esoterica, but I don't know whether because she was under an NDA or something, but she said basically it was something to do with research on cancer of blood. And there was something that came up, and basically there is a cure. She wouldn't sort of give me any names or anything, but basically big money, profit margins.
That's it. Patients bring the money, and that's why they don't bring it out.
But the thing is, she said this process was not the normal scientific process. The methodology, the peer-reviewed papers.
Got a question for you, Ian. There's a question popped up. I don't know if you want to say it, Phil, or Roxanne.
No, you go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Okay, a question for Ian.
Yeah.
When you saw the juvenile cryptid turn into cloak, what did it look like? And that's from PW4534.
Well, it was a Saturday late morning, coming up to midday. It was June, and it was like today, clear, roasting hot. The sun was at highest. It was coming through the trees, and I was looking at the trees, and this thing kept sticking its leg out, and I literally had to do like a double take, and I was like, what's that? And this thing kept sticking its leg out, and then because on a hot day or in a summertime, what they do, they kind of back up to a tree, so make like a tree in the shade or in the shadow of the tree, and it's very hard to see them. But this thing kept sticking its leg out, and there was a second one there that was closer to me, and it was trying to cloak, sort of phase in, phase out. But what I didn't realize on the pictures later, that the adult was stood right in front of me, cloaked, and this thing must have been about 12 foot tall. And it's only later when I was looking at the pictures that I realised it was like literally right in front of me.
Well, let me back.
Even though I was off to the side, and one of the juveniles was about 4 foot tall, and it kind of like, I suppose, came because I was concentrating the one at the back trying to stick its leg out. I was like, why the hell does it keep doing that? But there was that one there stood right there. And I took a picture, and it's sort of like, it looks a bit hazy, but you can see the outline. But the thing was, that's when I first learned these things have to be taught how to do it.
Right.
And this adult was right, and it's only later when like I say, when I was looking through the pictures that I saw the outline of the head and the right arm, and it was stood there. It was right in front of me. And I was taking pictures like off to my right, and for some reason I just had an urge to take pictures of trees in front of me because it was there.
So what did it look like then? Did it look like the typical Dogman, or?
Yeah, typical werewolf, except this thing was like 10 foot plus, easily 12. But there was two like juveniles off to the right practicing cloaking.
Right.
And it was sort of like in and out. But what caught my attention was one of them was sticking its hind legs out from the tree, and I was just like, "What's that?" And then when I recognised the shape, and that's when I saw the second one, which was closer to me. It was about 4 foot tall,
right?
And it wasn't far. I mean, actually. I suppose a few months later, that's where I saw one of this juvenile woodrose walking along the path, smacking the trees, like kids you see in these like 1930s films when they run along, smacking the iron gratings with sticks.
Right.
And it was doing that, and I shouted over to it. I said, "Good morning," and its eyes, it had these brown eyes. It just lit up, like it was just like been caught completely by surprise. He just looked up at me, and I started walking towards it, and he just felt it was gone.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds right. Right, Phil?
Yeah, I'm good now. Yeah, I've got my other glasses. Otherwise, it's getting quite dark out here now, and it's like nice and cool though.
Yeah.
Nice
yeah, really.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing though that has happened. I don't know if
I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to happen.
With my experiences, you lose your hair, my beard goes blue.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? I had a full set of hair last year. Now it's just gone.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's terrible. I keep telling them it's the women that lose it. I haven't had a woman in 8 years.
I still hope, mate. Still hope.
So, go on then, Phil. It's your show.
What I wanted to ask was, so we'll be here about stories before we go anywhere. Like tomorrow, before I go to this wood, I couldn't help but do some research on it. Now,
what, the woods or?
Yeah, this wood that I'm going to tomorrow. So Deering Wood, Screaming Woods. I couldn't help but do some research on it. But by doing the research, it's like almost Ancient Aliens, if you like. You know, we keep using it as a point of reference.
Yeah.
And I use these stories as a point of reference. You know, I mean, it's got a Neolithic site there, one of the oldest sites in the world, evidently.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
On November the 1st, 1948, after Halloween, 20 people, including 11 children, were found deceased or unalive. In the woods, in a pile without wounds. Strange lights were reported on that Halloween night. The autopsies were inconclusive. The authorities quickly attributed the deaths to carbon monoxide poisoning in the woods.
Really?
Yeah, really? Murder woods.
Yes, raising questions about police involvement.
What the heck do you get carbon on? Carbon.
Well, exactly.
That's where the four students went missing in '96.
Exactly right. That's right, Ian. Yeah, missing students. It was in 1998. This was in October 98.
Yeah.
Four college students visiting the forest went missing after reports of figures of light similar to spider webs in the sky. Their bodies were never found, and the police investigation stopped after only 3 weeks. They just ceased it. They said, no, we're not looking anymore.
Was there no evidence, nothing left behind, no marks?
No marks, no clothing, nothing at all. And these people had families.
How did they know they went missing from that area? How do you know they didn't walk out of that area?
Well, I guess even in 1990... Do you know what? I think nowadays, and back in the 90s even, it's getting increasingly more difficult to actually disappear out of the loop of life. It's very difficult.
That many security cameras up now, it's unreal.
Security cameras. If I was to, on purpose, disappear after the show,
personal thought,
you know, you can but wish. But if I was, then I wouldn't be able to use any bank card. I would have to make sure I've got enough cash.
You leave a paper trail. This is the problem. That's why people
exactly.
use cash.
There's always, you know, every time if I caught a bus, there's cameras on the bus now. You know, a taxi, boom, that's it. Yeah, same thing. It's very, very difficult. And even back in 98, it was okay, slightly less difficult because the internet was in its early stages and there wasn't all of the cameras they had around. But still, this is for four people back in the day, all to just disappear out of a wood.
Has anybody been on their Facebook or checked with their parents, etc., etc.? Any relatives? Has any backup on this?
No, there's no. I had a quick look, and the case went completely cold. Those four students.
There is a legal. That will say there is a legal mechanism for keeping a lid on things. You know, like there's no suspicious circumstances, and if you try and if something is found, and say you want a copy of a report, and they refuse to release it because it's not in the public interest.
This is it. This is why I'm asking. There's a famous case in America. I won't go into the details of the guy. He saw something on a hill. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, he went missing. He reckons he got abducted, missing, gone. But when you looked into his Facebook and his girlfriend's Facebook, he's still there. But the whale thought he'd gone. You know.
Yeah, so, I mean, people. I mean, if you like I say, this other rival research group. Well, when 411 was starting to take off, there was we did a bit of homework about this country.
Yeah, it did.
And
some of the facts wrong.
And the county that has most people that go missing is Hampshire. But it's the 95% go missing. They're found. Yeah. And then you get a 5%, they're just literally gone. Just no trace, no fake death, no anything. They're just literally off the face of the planet.
Yeah, I did some.
One of the things was we have the same problem here with camping and caravanning. And when you look at the amount of money that is involved in this country in camping and caravanning alone, and the amount of people it keeps in jobs.
Exactly.
You know, I can understand maybe a concerted effort to keep things tight-lipped.
Yeah, exactly.
If you start, I mean, this is not about the holiday camps.
What do you mean by that, though, Ian? What do you mean by? You know, the camping caravanning, scene, you know, is a big scene. I'm a member. I took out when I was out with you guys. I took out my I got my money. Yeah, I got my money back. I'm going to do that. Oy boy. Anyway,
I'm saying no.
got to save a shekel or two, son. And but yeah, what specifically, Ian, has that got to do with people going missing though? The camping caravanning.
Why would you advertise? Yeah, come to the New Forest. There is a 50% chance you might get abducted or disappeared. Enjoy your time here.
Lad,
yeah.
By the way, just as a PS, the police may do bugger all.
I did some research. I think on my files up here, they're downstairs, but yeah, about 85,000 people go missing in the UK. So many percent. Yeah, I got this from the government.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it says roughly 85,000 go missing every year. I can't remember I should have dug it out if I knew, but it's in a file downstairs. I can't remember what it says. I think there's about 35,000 get found again. Another so many thousand go totally missing off the grid, and statistics.
There's like 2,000-3,000 that just not found.
No, that's what he said. Yeah, and he was on about wild stock as well. You know,
just gone.
Going missing as well.
I mean, one of the best cases. I think I told you this, Cole. I think it's 2010, 2012 period. Wife goes out. This is up in Scotland. Wife goes outside 3 o'clock in the morning for a fag. Ashtray fags on the side window at the back of the house. Husband wakes up at 7 in the morning. He finds a pair of slippers, a fag's in the ashtray. Not a sign of the way. Anyway, the police going at him like 12 bore for months, and they just said, look, there's no foul play. She just literally, where her slippers were, gone.
Yeah.
And they ripped that house apart. They thought she was under the floorboards and all this sort of stuff. But
like they do, yeah. Like I said, I told you that one near us. He just popped out for a pack of fags, and next minute they found him in some woods with his boots neatly packed and his socks neatly folded, and he's laid there, and they said hypothermia.
Yeah. I saw that question earlier about me and David Bunt. I'm still in contact. I was hoping to get up next week, but
he was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, but the people I work for, who shall remain nameless, but they're from Yorkshire.
Hey, not wrong with those Yorkshires.
No, there isn't. But there are a bunch of SOBs. Anyway, I had to rebook the holiday from last week of July, so I'll be messaging later about going up. But anyway, they're based in Sherborne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got PW4534 says probably cryptid screaming in Blackley Woods. I remember a girl from Kent on Dogman Encounters. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny place because evidently you're not allowed to enter the woods after 9 o'clock.
It's like Ian used to get through the night. These certain woods, but now it's all fenced off and cameraed and everything. They track my car, like I told you, they track my car going through the woods and in everywhere we parked. It's Big Brother, isn't it now? Big business.
Don't you find that a bit concerning though?
I do really. I mean, years ago we used to go up there into these certain woods up in Yorkshire. I mean, when we was kids, but even I've been as a young adult, I've been in there hundreds of times. Not a problem. I used to sneak in on the back.
You ever been down a wooded path that's danger? You go down there your own risk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bluebell.
Yes.
Yeah. Bluebell Woods in Reading.
Right.
Outside Reading. It's full of structures.
Mm.
Yeah, well, there's a certain one just outside Scarborough that we're not supposed to go in because it's with the RAF. But I can't read because it says no entry. I mean, I can't read. So I just went in. So
Boxley Woods in Norfolk. Boxley Woods in Norfolk. I've been there 3 times. It's famous for black shook or shuka. But the werewolf, whatever you want to call them. But all the dens are right at the very back, out of the way. And every pathway, it says, don't enter wildlife, don't do this, log in. And you're like, where are the trucks? There's no sign of logging. But
it was in Dolby Forest. Tractors everywhere, didn't it? Them cameras.
Yeah. But the one of the paper girls used to deliver paper said one used to chase her down this road every morning. And he said she finally reckoned he was just doing it for a bit of fun. Well, the first time it chased her, she said she was pedaling like mad. She said this thing could have gotten her any time.
I've come across not stories with this, but yeah. I think they just do it on fun, really. I've had witnesses say that it could have took me any time, but it didn't.
Yeah. I've seen signs saying that. Also been to Bluebell. Is that Bluebell Hill where Bluebell Woods is?
No, this is west of. It's on the western edge of Reading.
Yeah. Sure, I've been there. I'm sure I have. I'm sure in one of my travels I've been up that way.
I'm sure there's loads around your house still saying "Do not enter." Don't
for sure. Mostly in the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be. I'm sure there will be.
So it's kind of with this whole kind of with reading this about all the stories going on with that word, I'm trying to forget all of that because I'm trying to sort of have a clean slate when I go in. That's what I'm trying to mentally do.
Like I said, danger's real, fear's a choice, isn't it, Phil? So.
Yeah, I'm not on purpose going to look for the headless coachman or for anything else. I'm just going to go and that's it exactly. I'm going to stream, but streaming in the wood, as you guys know, is hit and miss. I can't guarantee that I'll have a signal at any one time.
Like so I'm going to have to try. We were going to do one, weren't we? But no blooming signal.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It really is. It's like the trees are signal sucking. I'm just going to record anyway on a separate camera and try and stream if I can with the other one. But with this stories, do you think that we're right in, like, a lot of people go back to the stories of the Bible and of ancient aliens and stuff like that? Do you think we're right in digging that all up to use it to equate with what we're dealing with now? Because I'll tell you why. I watched a documentary and it was this woman who is a fabulous, it was on YouTube, she's a top of her game. She reads ancient languages and she understands hieroglyphics. And she was saying, those famous hieroglyphics where you've got the it looks like a UFO, and then another one looks like a helicopter, and then
the plane, isn't they? There's several things. Even scuba gear has been pointed out, isn't they? And
she actually said that when you delve a bit deeper and you read it in the right context, what's happened is over the years it's been added to. Originally, that list is in hieroglyphics is a list of the kings. It talks about the kings that took the throne in ancient Egypt. Now, why those hieroglyphics look like UFOs and look like helicopters is because they've been added to. And because they've been added to, it's taken the shape of that helicopter. It's taken the shape of a UFO. And it's,
so the shape was something else, but they've added something to it so it makes it look like something else.
And she stripped it away by computer. She stripped it away to what it should have been. And it should have been originally a list of ancient kings. And when you look at that, you think, blimey, you got a point, actually. Yeah, you might have a point. And what I'm trying to get to is like kind of are we literally, pardon the pun of the Dogman show, barking up the wrong tree when we talk about kind of equating things to the past? But I know the past is the only point of reference that we've got to contrast the information to. But do you think it's kind of like with me going into this wood after reading this? Is that wrong of me? Of reading that?
No.
Am I going to do something
in the area that you're going, isn't it? You're doing the research where you're going. It doesn't mean that it just says there's going to be a headless horseman running through there at 11 o'clock every night. You aren't going to, at least you know what maybe you might expect.
My attitude would have been like, first time I saw a werewolf, I'd be like, yeah, let's go back and find out more. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
First time I saw like the Lochmarben vampire, pictures of it, and I mean the guy who found it was the top ghost hunter in Scotland, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to drive 7 hours up the road, stay the weekend there, and see what's what. So yeah, I mean this thing was seen in daylight. So yeah, I mean whatever you read. I mean the thing is, I mean if you go this weekend, Phil. I mean, the only thing you might see is an 88 squirrel.
No, that's right, though. That's right.
Yeah, and you come back and you're like, well, that was a bit of a damn squid. And then Monday on the 6 o'clock news, mass slaughter in Pluckley Woods. And you're like,
right. It's going to be the Monty Python rabbit.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Absolutely.
Nothing happens, and then you think, well, I got all worked up for nothing, and then next week there'll be a story where you go like, bloody hell, I was there like only 2 hours before, or something like that.
Do you know what I'd like to try? I would like to try going into the wood tomorrow and streaming, if I've got a good signal, streaming somebody else to ask and wood knock and ask for wood knocks, ask for screams, ask for visitations, ask for something that proves you're there. And in so doing, live streaming to another guy who's also in the wood to see if anything happens on his end. Wouldn't it be incredible if I asked for a wood knock?
That'd be good.
And you heard one. And
we're going to try that, aren't we? We are going to try that experiment.
Got to do that. Yeah, that's a must.
To the woods out at Dane's Dyke or somewhere or wherever the woods, and we'll do that. We'll try and.
That would be very, very interesting because it would, if there was because they talk about like, I'm not going to go blithering on about, quantum entanglement, but they talk about these particles which react instantaneously over vast distances. If it is a case on a quantum level that these things happen instantaneously, and there's a communication that we don't know about. Wow. You've been all the way up there, in kind of like alloy wheel speed, and me kind of like being down here.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible. That'd be incredible.
We'll try and set it up for one Friday night.
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be a good idea to do. Do you any advice for me tomorrow when it comes to? Do you think I should leave any tobacco out? Or I know it's not Bigfoot, but I've heard with Dogman that you can leave offerings. Do you think
all I can advise, get the most expensive because cheap stuff they don't like.
Really?
I'll tell you that from experience. Even when leaving dog food, if it's cheap stuff, they won't touch it.
Yeah,
the expensive dog food, they will munch that like no tomorrow.
Okay.
I left one out for that cub in the den, and I went back the following day. The adults had eaten it because you could tell where the prints were. They stomped on it. They literally wolfed it.
Excuse me.
Okay. Right. Yep. I was talking to a Bigfoot guy and Matthew Johnson, and he said leave pastries out because pastries are something that they don't normally get access to, and they love pastries with Bigfoot or Janu. They love pastries and things like that.
Yeah. When I used to eat sausage rolls, they used to either quaff them or slice the pastry and take the sausage out, and I used to find the pastry literally opened up like an envelope, and they're taking the sausage out, and you can see where they cut right down the side.
Yeah.
With a claw. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's like an old saying. I sometimes use an old saying of mine. Who's taken the jam out of my donut? You know.
Yeah.
Same thing. Sausage out of my sausage roll. Colin, you've got a question. And why do you have a statue of Baphomet? And do you think it's a Goatman cryptid?
Do I think the Goatman is a cryptid? Yes, I do. I know there's a lot of sightings in America, especially around Kentucky, way on. I have done a sort of like bit of research, and apparently the legend has it the Goatman was done in the Middle East by alchemists. I might have the date wrong, 16 something or 15 something. I can't remember the date now. And that's how he was born, basically. But there's lots of legends about the Goatman. So, but I do think there is there. I mean, we have the Pigman. I have spoken to several people in America, and they reckon they have seen the Goatman. And there's a famous picture. I can't remember where that was. I think that was Kentucky. You could see his horns walking through the woods. I'll see if I can dig it out and give it to you, Phil, and you can put it on for next week. But yeah, I do think the Goatman is a cryptid. If that's answered your question, I don't know. You know,
I think what you're saying was behind it looks like Baphomet, and Baphomet is a demon.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, sorry, I misread it wrong. It is the Goatman. I bought it as a Goatman statue or bust. And just for that simple reason, because I was doing sort of like a bit of research into it at the time, and I saw it on one of our sites.
It does look very similar. There's Goatman looks very similar to something in places like Croatia, Latvia,
Slovakia. Hello. It's all gone dead. Hello.
I was gonna say that one of the
you just come up.
One of the
internet.
I was going to say one of the charges against the Knights Templar for having the head was an image as Baphomet.
Yeah.
And some took that as code for John the Baptist.
It's back. Phil's back. Roxy's
I'm back. Sorry, guys. Yeah,
it just went dead. Everything just went dead.
My signal went. Yeah, I nearly disappeared.
Sorry, Ian. Yeah, it's breaking up there. I couldn't really hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the charges against the Knights Templar in Paris was, the image of a head on a platter on their flags that they used for their ceremonies, and Baphomet was supposed to be some sort of coded language for John the Baptist, who they saw as the real Christ, not Jesus. As Jesus.
I have read that. But yeah,
hold on.
That is.
Let's get my charger.
Interesting.
Let's get my charger. One minute.
Because some people reckon the Christ in the New Testament is an amalgamation of two.
I don't know if it's me or what.
I was going to say, there are some people who consider that the Christ in the New Testament is an amalgamation of two different leaders of the same Jewish sect around the Dead Sea.
Okay.
St. Paul was one that did the publicity. he's the one that invented Christ as some sort of in the same tradition as the same Greco-Roman Hellenistic mystery cults
I've heard
over the period.
And you can understand why the church didn't want this to get out, even if it was real. You could understand.
Yeah. I know. You know, and you know why the like the Christians, like the early church, especially the Roman faith, say they were persecuted by the Roman authorities. It was because, especially in Syria, around Damascus, and where Christians first became known as Christians, was the fact what they used to call love feasts. And basically, they weren't sort of. Some would indulge in, take the bread and the wine, and some would literally engage in literal cannibalism.
Right.
They would literally take it as the word and have some sort of sacrificial victim and eat of that flesh. And that's why the Romans persecuted them, because of cannibalism.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that, to be honest. That's a bit news. Where did you get that information from? Where was that come from?
Oh, that's different historical works. Right. Plus, there were big mass gay orgies as well. So,
your background, that Phil?
What's that, mate? Sorry, miles away.
I wish.
No, I think I was just looking at quickly. A question came up for anyone. What are the creatures users see who take DMT, ayahuasca? Sorry, is that hallucination? So is that hallucination? What people see?
Yeah.
Interesting. I got me. Sorry, Ian. I was listening. I think I was seriously. I had to rush off because my battery went on my phone, and I was like, oh, and I need it for hotspotting. So I was like, oh, but yeah, that's all. I just like so when you saw me disappear, that's what I went off into today. Yeah. So ayahuasca, DMT. What do we think? What are people under the influence of those hallucinogenic, mind altering?
Sorry.
Well, yeah, could be. I mean, again, you take the leaders around the Dead Sea. They would take the Dead Sea red mushroom. And those guys actually believed they were physically talking to God because they were just on cloud 12.
Yeah. Well, a lot of tribes do that as well, don't they? In America and India, Africa, and that use hallucinogenics to communicate.
There's a famous German nun from the 10th century called Hildegard von Bingen. She was a famous choralist for the church. And so before Rolling Stone and Led Zeppelin found drugs, Hildegard von Bingen was the ultimate rock star smackhead. And that's when she was absolutely away with the fairies, that's when she'd write her music.
Right, I can believe that. Well, but that's supposed to be a bit of a smackhead type of thing.
Yeah, and you can listen to her music online on YouTube, and it's the most serene and beautiful music you can hear. But yeah, she was doing mushrooms and all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff.
A lot of people have a lot of leaders, really, to get information.
There was a lot in the 60s, wasn't there? There was a lot of there was a lot of this. There's a mind-altering. Mind-altering music generation, if you like. The Doors were a big one, weren't they? The Doors were
Pop all Vol.
Are you talking from experience here, Phil?
No, do you know? Well, it's like
from
kind
our
of
cellmates. It's,
yeah. It's yeah. Ayahuasca's quite difficult to get hold of around here, but it's it's one of these things. I think that what people see, it doesn't really matter too much. I think what people see when they're in the state like that. I think. Look, I'm no angel. I have in the past taken different things when I was younger in my 20s, and I know that there was one which was that I took, and it really had a strange effect of doing this. It doesn't matter what I heard, I had to go with the beat. The beat was the most, you know what I mean? One of those things. Yeah, you understand? It was like kind of, and in a lot of these tribal rituals, there's always that beat. There's always the beat going on.
it's supposed to be rhythmic to your brain, isn't it? The can't think what you call
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's
well, come to
it's
me.
something, and it's something again which makes us very unique. Now, I can play, I can play a bit of Cliff Richard, or a bit of whatever I choose and fancy, and I can happily sort of, dance around while I'm cooking, cooking me uh, beans on toast. But the dogs don't. Animals don't have that they don't have that thing where it kind of induces where it's a toe tapper to them, and I find that really strange. And another thing that Dr. De Silva, when he wrote the book that we are not indigenous to this planet, is another little nugget which think, hang on a minute, why is it that we're the only ones which hear a rhythmic beat, and it kind of we have to, it brings something out in us that we kind of like have to kind of go to it, but animals don't.
No, yeah,
That's odd, isn't it?
I do know.
With with the whole thing of do we see things? I think personally that the brain is well, mine anyway, is a funny old instrument, and I think it's a receiver, and also more the point, a projector of information and interpretation of information. It can project, and it's very good at doing what it does.
Yeah,
Now,
I
why I
agree.
say that, why I
Man's a
say
powerful
that,
thing.
I say that for a reason, because the power of suggestion is a very strong force.
Yeah.
The power of everyday life that we're living is a very strong force. Now, why do I say that? Well, because I do strongly believe that regardless whether we take hallucinogenics or not, I think our world we live in, there is a veil, and sometimes people like you, Ian, you, Colin, and many others out there, we, without taking any hallucinogenics, we see past the veil. We're open, and more to the point, the veil knows we're watching, and it opens out even
I can believe.
wider.
Yeah, I agree there, Phil. I totally agree. They know we're
Um,
watching and what we do.
so I don't think you have to be in a state of euphoria or hallucinogenic. I think these creatures that they see, if you really want an honest opinion, I think that it's enforced. If you take ayahuasca or if you take a hallucinogenic, you are putting your mind into a state where you will see entities, but you are forcing
not
the
clear.
hand. You are forcing the hand, and you shouldn't really force that hand. It's something that your brain or yourself is not ready for, and it can be really quite dangerous. What you're witnessing can be quite dangerous.
Totally
When
agree.
it's ready to show itself, which it has to many people, us included, then it is for a reason and for a purpose. And I think by taking hallucinogenics and by taking these things, yes, you do see through the veil. Yes, you do see entities, but you may not be ready for it.
Yeah, it can really mess you up. Well, I'll tell you about a story. A guy, Blackpool, which I won't go into detail, but he was a right mess. He was an absolute right mess. Yeah, so don't do it. Simple as that. He was seeing everything that you could imagine. So.
So
No, I agree with
story,
you. I totally agree with you. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, Ian, but yeah, I do.
What about hallucinogens? I wouldn't take them.
What he's saying is the entities that are seen under the influence of hallucinogens, do you think they're as real as the entities that we see without taking hallucinogens?
I can believe it. It's like I can't remember who related the story, but it's the guy where they had some night vision goggles in the infrared spectrum, and the guy literally freaked out because he said he could see everything. And you know, like some people, some people believe that UFOs move around within the infrared spectrum, so maybe that's just another level of perception, and you see things.
I mean, we only see.
They see things in a different realm or in a different dimension, because the subconscious is a very powerful tool. Obviously, when stimulated, obviously you're opening up a whole can of worms. And I think to a certain extent that anything within our own realm that we see, we want to see, but anything else, whether it be in the 12th dimension or whatever, should stay there.
I strongly believe that. Yeah.
I mean, there's
but yeah, I don't
95%
think
of
we
the
should.
universe we don't see.
I mean, I know a girl down in Bournemouth who sees thunderbirds in a different spectrum,
That's
and
interesting.
And they can come through to our side. I mean, this is the same girl that I mean, she's got a wolf coming through a portal to the left side of Nooney Woods. I've got the pictures on, so someday I'm just going to have to dig all the good photos out and put them in one file into one hard drive. And Christ, I got over 7,000 pictures. But I mean, there's pictures of every weird and wonderful thing, and I mean, I'm going to have to probably spend a couple of weeks just going through the lot and putting them aside into one folder, and then send them out to you.
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah.
I got the DVD. Thank you, Ian. Yeah. Thank you. I've got a question. Question for Phil. If humans aren't coming back from the future, does that mean humans cease to exist in the future?
Yeah.
If humans aren't coming back from the future, so I guess like if aliens are us in the future coming back to us, if you like. Yeah, so basically we're like an evolution. Aliens are an evolution of us from the future coming back, which makes sense when you think about it, because with
Sorry.
did I say that right?
I wish he had his money.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to say,
really?
Bruce Willis. Oh, how you doing, Mike?
Sorry.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I hope you're doing all right, Mike. He's a really good, nice guy, Mike. He's ever so nice, MT Paranormal. And he's proper boots on the ground. He'll go out for, whatever it is. He'll go out and, I've seen him in some really sketchy places, and not just the public toilets. But anyway, right, with aliens, I remember going to, I think it's the Natural History Museum. And in the Natural History Museum is a sculpture of us, a human being, in the future. If we lead the lifestyle we're leading, how we will end up through evolution looking. So take this, for instance. The sculpture had a large head because the brain capacity is going to increase. Brain capacity is going to increase because obviously we've got more input. We're having more input. We've got more to think of.
The social arm is different on it.
Yeah, that's right. Its arms are really scrawny, thin. Legs quite scrawny, thin. Its eyes are larger because obviously, sight is a very, very important thing to us. So its eyes are. So when you look at that in the Natural History Museum, and I think if you go online, you can see this statue of like us evolved. We don't half look like a grey with the big eyes and a big head and the skinny arms, and we don't half look like that. But do we cease to exist in the future? No. I've got a theory, and it stems from me from. I think we're getting a bit too involved in all of this, and by that I mean with aliens, we think it's all about us. It's not. I think at the moment there is a war going on, and I think this war has been going on for quite some time.
Hundreds of years, I think it's been going on.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. I agree with you. Hundreds of years. And we're important for one aspect, and the one aspect that we're important for is one, energy and our souls. That's the one thing that we have that they want. We have souls and we have an energy, and they don't. They are more robotic. They're more. They have no idea how to communicate with us. They for all their advancement and technology and that we see as being technology, to them it's not, is it? It's no more than someone in the 1800s saying, I'm some kind of wizard because I'm talking in a back garden to a plate, basically a flat screen. What, you're some kind of wizard? What dark magic is this? It's the same difference. Just because our technology hasn't caught up doesn't mean to say that, or it's, for them it's not technology, it's all organic. But nevertheless, I think that we are in a war, and I think there's two factions to this war. One is alien. Second, I think, is more biblical, if you like. It's more the archetypal angel. And I think with Dogman and with Bigfoot and with those, I think that they are naturally indigenous to this planet. This is what I believe. I think they are naturally indigenous. Not even as we're not. We're not. We have a lot of failings. We suffer in life. We suffer because we're not. We battle gravity. We battle all a lot of diseases and coughs and colds that don't really affect a lot of creatures on God's earth. And I think I think we don't. It's not a case of us being aliens. I think that with the alien thing, I do think they are more demonic in nature. That I do think they're a lot more demonic in nature, and they want something from us. They need something from us. They need our souls. They need our energy, our flesh, our blood, even. When you look in the Bible, a lot of times they talk about there's hardly an inch on this planet which hasn't had a battle fought on it and blood spilt on it at some point. And I think that, if you take the stories of the old ones, and the old ones are, the titans that live in the earth, they required sacrifice. And I think that it's all part and parcel with the aliens, that they're kind of, I don't like calling them aliens really. They are entities, but they're not from outer space. They're more organic. They're more of a organic thought form, if you like, which comes through. And they act on a different level to us. They're on a different plane of existence. But they cannot communicate. They do not know bugger all about us. They really don't. Every time that someone gets abducted, it's the same scenario. And I would love to be abducted to actually say to them, like, why can't you talk properly? Yes, I am scared being on this table. Do you realise why I'm scared being on this table? It's because I'm being probed. Ordinarily, if you bought me a banana daiquiri and whispered in my ear, I probably wouldn't mind. But at the moment, yes, I am. I am quite scared. But they communicate in a way which they cannot understand why we're scared. They get the men in black that come to the door, and they're kind of almost awkward.
Yeah, but the thing about reptilians that made the Greys as their like slaves. Now, I mean, you read that much stuff, What do you think about that? Do you think the slaves, the Greys,
the slaves,
workers, and the queen bee is, like the
there's a hierarchy.
Reptilians.
No, there is a hierarchy. Yeah, there is a hierarchy, and I think with the what they're called, Acrons. They're the old part of the old gods. They're once again, no, not Anunnaki. No. What they're called now?
Civil service.
No, that's another. Yeah, they do want blood. Yeah, but right there.
I can't think what you're trying to say.
Old aliens. Boo. Underground. They live underground. These ones do. Let's have a look. Dolce Base. Yeah. Do you know what? I can't remember the name of them.
No, I can't think what you're trying to.
It'll come to me when it comes to me. It'll come, and I'll probably be 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'll sit bolt up in bed.
That's it.
The Acreons. Yeah.
I think it's our age.
I think it goes a lot deeper than it goes an awful lot deeper, and I think that's part of the reason why that so much of it is hushed up. If it was a case that when they had this agreement back in the day, and they said, right, okay, and they said, look, you can abduct a certain amount of people if we have your technology.
The deal was made, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it all went a bit tits really because they got greedy, But yeah, there's many different species. I don't think they want the best for us. I know they don't want the best for us. I don't think we have to worry about Bigfoot. I don't think we have to worry about Dogman. I think they've been here for a millennia. It's carved onto 12th century, 11th century churches. They are.
That's it. It's in every religion, or every cult on this planet. Every race of human being that there's a Dogman in it.
Yeah, exactly. And do we really hear about the? Is it so traumatic? I mean, it's been something because it's been so. When I had my experience when I was very little, it was so. It's a funny thing. I was stunned, but I couldn't move. I wanted every facet within me said, "Why the hell didn't I run away?" But there was something that I couldn't run away. I had to witness it. I had to look at it, and it knew that, and it was looking at me with these like yellow eyes, and I was like, but with aliens, yes, they always seem to induce trauma and post-traumatic stress every time. And that I find really quite awful. I think it's like kind of an awful thing. It's and I don't want to get all religious, but there is like one kind of we have to remember that there's the one thing, and I'm not going to start Bible bashing, but the one thing which has stayed static and defining throughout all of this, but it's starting to be forgotten, and if you like, the government have pushed to one side and have started kind of like not overemphasizing at all, and that is God, Christian God. Why I say that is because it has a power from the point of view you in Genesis, first section of Genesis, let there be light. Well, he didn't create the sun until the fourth day. So where did the light come from? The reason why is because scholars believe is because in ancient times, Ra, the sun god, was the deity, the go-to guy, because people are like
Down to the
water.
Egyptians again.
Yeah, exactly. Egyptians again. You're talking when they left, and the Israelites left, and they went to the land of Canaan. They found that the people there were serving another god, not our God. They were serving another god. The god was called Baal.
Yeah,
and he had in captions, mother, wife, lover. Her name, if I remember rightly, was Aisha. Anyway,
I don't know. I'll take your word on that.
Yeah,
God's wife was called Anat.
Yeah, but Baal's wife was Aisha. She was a deity, and she was a deity for fertility and like giving to the land. And the reason that the locals venerated them was because Baal would provide very close to agriculture, would provide water, rain. It was like a rain god, if you like it. Well, not rain god, but he'd provide for them to water the land. But with the Christian God, it was with ours, there is only one like true God, and that's why they reinforced that. And they said, look, no, because it's our God, which you start getting this crossover. No, our God's better. But all throughout the time that we've been talking about aliens, about Dogman, about everything else, there's always been one thing which has been set in stone, which has been continuous, and that is, and it hasn't altered, and that is the story of God. And the one strange part is, to me, is if getting back, circling around to what I first was talking about, and the woods, by reading that about the woods, is it in a way creating something with me, circling around with that, with the God issue. It's kind of, it's the one thing which has been fixed, a fixed point, which kind of society now, for some reason, like at school, they don't teach it as widely. They don't teach it hardly at all.
Yeah.
And that's concerning. Whether you believe in it, whether you don't believe in it, I'm not Bible bashing here. I'm just stating a fact. whether you believe it or not, they don't teach it anymore, and that is concerning to me. You know, I think that's something which should be addressed, really. You know, and I think with a lot of these deities that we see, they do respect. I know I've been out in the woods at night, and when I've gotten scared, which I have, believe me, I'm not, you know, and I've mentioned like the Lord's Prayer, it goes.
Yeah, but Ben, you said they disappear. Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I have come across this in witnesses that I've talking to as well. They've said the same thing. But I just don't know why. I wish I had the answers.
Colin, you've got a question.
I know I have. To be honest, Tony Topping, is he? I'm not sure if he's the cryptid guy. I've got that many people on my Facebook, but no, I've never spoken to the guy. I've heard of the name, and I'm sure it's the cryptid guy. No, I haven't spoken to him. I don't know.
Is that big?
I'd love to speak to him if he is. Sorry?
Is that Bigfoot Tony from Wales?
Yeah, I don't know. I know. I'm sure he's on my. Sorry, no, I'm sure he's on my Facebook, but I haven't spoken to the guy.
Because I
think it is, isn't he? That way on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the one that caught one of the wilwus or one of the wild men pushing a tree over in the forest in Wales, and the thing stopped and looked at him. It's on a video going.
But I hadn't spoken to him.
Yeah, it's on a video going back a few years. But as an aside, I used to have a staff sergeant called Tony Topping. And it was about 6'7", like a plank. But Kiefer, has anyone ever been in a wicket? Right. I used to live in a village in Oxfordshire near Thurford Airfield. One of the Astons, you got North Aston, Steeple Aston, Middle Aston. But the woman I lived with, every Thursday night, she used to go out with the girls and would come back at midnight. And I thought she was going up to the pub, and they would all meet at the house, her and her three buddies, four of them. Off they'd go. And she used to say, me and the fellow witches are going out for a drink. And,
I can believe this.
You know, I never went along. I was never invited to go up to the pub, because I used to thought there used to be two pubs in this Aston. And they used to go to the ones at the top. Now you go to the top, you bang a right, go down a road and up another road, you're right into the woods. And at some point, I actually became convinced she wasn't. She was a bona fide witch. I mean, not the not the one that's in the question. I mean, a real bona fide, cut the chicken's head off, spray the blood around, all that kind of stuff. Because there were, before I moved in with her, about a year before, so we're talking about 1990, there were a couple of bodies found up there in those woods near Thurford. And one of them had been rigidly burnt alive.
So what was the police verdict and all that then?
I don't know. I used to, I mean, I was younger then, and I just thought I thought she was just messing me about, like, you know.
That's got us.
And we were together for about 2 years, and about 65% of that time was away on detachment, island, golf, you know, out and about. And I say every Thursday night, and of course, the first Masonic meeting in Egypt during the reign of Tutmosis III took place on a Thursday night at 7:45.
Isn't that weird?
And so the girls would all meet up for about 8 o'clock, but they would always come back after midnight.
So this burning, do you think it's a ritual killing, or?
I can only presume so.
I've never come across this one.
Yeah, this is about 89, 90. There was two guys found dead in these woods. One of them, they say they'd been burnt alive, but they said it was ritualistic.
Right. Okay. That is sort of like interesting in a way. Yeah, I've spoken to a few sort of like these guys that go into woods and do all these rituals.
Yeah,
know,
but
guys.
Because they say we split in 91.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was just a girls' drinking squad, and they used to call themselves the witches. The witches, but you know, afterwards, like I think about it, and I think she was the real deal.
No, you could be right. I've spoken to a few people that I think there's real deal. You know, the vibes that they give you and the stories they tell you and what they do is, you know.
Yeah.
I won't go into the details, but yeah, I like that. I'd like to talk a bit more about that off the record.
Yeah.
More information on that one.
She was educated at a Catholic convent school.
Oh,
yeah, and I met her mother, and she was very devout. But
good question, fella. Yeah, it's interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah,
I've never come across that one. But yeah, I'd like to know a bit more. If I could, sometime, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Read this out, Roxanne, or
question for Phil: What is the Church of Light's belief?
I think he's messing about with his bonfire.
Do you know what? It's ever so strange. I can't help myself. Anything to do like fire, and I'm like, oh, fire pit, oh, fire.
Yeah, the police warned you about that last time, though, didn't they?
It's like, oh, yeah. It's still got that buzz for me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like, yeah.
I know what you give him a box of matches for there, Roxy.
Oh, I love it. That's great, isn't it? Yeah, I love a bit of fire.
Yeah, don't give him any sharp objects.
No, see, I've come in.
That's why I'm only allowed a wooden spoon to eat with. You know, stuff getting in my eye like that otherwise. So, you know, I have a problem with that. But question for Phil: what is the Church of Light's belief? Okay. Wow. Church of Light. Now, as I understand it, with the Church of Light, or originally, before it was the Golden Dawn, the Church of Light. If you're talking the occult Church of Light, that is. So their ethos or their word is do as thou wilt.
Is that the Aleister Crowley lot? Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
Not the Greek political party.
No. He messed up. Before he went to Egypt to summon up a specific demon.
Yeah.
He went to. He bought a nice place actually, and he recalled it by Loch Ness. We called it Bolskine or Bolskin.
Yeah.
Bolskin. And he went there. He was alone, and he went for a certain ritual, and the ritual was for him. And the reason that he did it was for protection for when he went to Egypt. So he done this ritual, and it opened up, if you like, I don't like to say dimension too much because, you know, it gets confusing. There can't be another dimension in this dimension because there's too much material for another dimension to come in, but another plane of existence.
Okay.
So these entities came in, and at that time, he was then called back by the Church of Light, the Golden Dawn. You got to hurry back, which he did. He hurried back, and in so doing, he didn't close it off properly, and that caused major big problems. So that wasn't great. With the Church Light, or with the Golden Dawn, they are essentially, I believe, Aleister Crowley was a narcissist. He was about him, brilliant climber, but he was about him, and he was about his own fulfillment. But you have to realize something. The chap was also driven by money. He came from quite a well-off family, but
Yeah, he did.
There's a shock.
And he was driven by notoriety. That's what he was driven by. His way, the book, the law.
He repented at the end of his life, though, didn't he?
He did, yeah, he did, he did indeed. It's just a bit. It's one of these things where it's, even the whole thing of what's your ethos for the whole group? Well, do as thou wilt. Well, okay, but it doesn't really give a lot of guidance. So I just kind of. It's non-directional. It's kind of just like some omnipresent kind of mindset where it's like, well, it doesn't matter what I do then, does it really? Because I'm still part of the group. I'm still condoned by the group, and I can't do any wrong then by the group. There's no guidelines. There's nothing sort of set out. There's no structure to it, which I find just I don't really get on with. There has to be some kind of structure for any. He had powers. He did have powers. He did. He did have a sense. I'm not taking that away from him. But it's a bit sort of misguided, I think. He was chasing. He came a little bit unstuck because he was chasing something that really, was a bit too much for even him.
Yeah. Wasn't the Golden Dawn an offshoot of Madame? Was it Blavatsky? Blavatsky, yeah.
Madame Blavatsky. Yeah. She created the School of Theology when she came to England, again from a very good, well-to-do family, but very widely travelled. She evidently was one of only a handful of few people who met with the immortals in Nepal, the old ones, the ones which cannot die, the wise ones. And she absolutely, hand on heart, said, yes, I met them. She lived with them in the cave. And she was a young girl to travel on her own to places like in India. She didn't have to. She did it because she had this need, this want, this she didn't need the money, she didn't need the notoriety. She did it because she genuinely wanted. Yeah, she genuinely kind of, like we all do, like we're all here. We have this. The one thing that we have is we have this need to know. We know, we understand that there's more to life than what there is, but we don't get it, and we want to get it. And the more we're kind of shown this materialistic world of,
the rabbit hole, isn't it, that you go down?
Molded, buy another molded buy another new build house with loads of rubbish under it. You take the bath panel off and you'll find like crisp bags, half-eaten sandwiches and everything else. But you buy another new build house. It's a materialistic kind of world which has been structured basically to keep the machine going, because as long as people work and are functional, they then put into the pot. And it's just an ongoing thing. But when you talk to people that know, and you talk to people that hold some presence in society, and you talk to them about Madame Blavatsky, or you talk to them about our experiences, or you talk to them about it's almost just a door shuts, it closes, and that's even worse than, it's like when you're calling someone up. It's better to rather than ignore somebody, it's better to just call them and say, look, I'm really sorry, I can't make the meeting, or I'm really sorry, I don't want to talk to you because you bore me, rather than just don't answer at all. And that's what we're getting. Exactly, yeah, I know, tell me about that. But that's the problem we're getting, because we're not getting any answers. We're getting nothing. We're getting a total blank. Even in the congressional committees that they're having about the aliens and that, they're getting a total blank. All it's doing is it's fueling the fire.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
And that's a big problem. How I got onto that segue of from Alistair Crowley and Madame Blavatsky. I don't know. I've done that.
Yeah, I see. See, Andrea Schneider. Can you tell me a Dogman? Yeah. Anybody?
If you want to go on my my YouTube channel, there's loads. I'm trying to work on my files. I'm doing a thing called Photoese.
She said earlier, the guy on the left doesn't know what he's talking about. So I'll leave it up to the others with more experience than myself.
Lots of experience.
You've got loads of experience, Ian. What are you on about? Loads of experience.
Well,
you have. You're the pointing man, as me and Phil have decided. We send you in first before me and Phil go in.
Well, silly, not going down the Pluckley Woods. You can fudge that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's one thing that I wanted to.
All those bodies were laid out in the field in a line.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
which is just mad.
Exactly. Absolutely. I find it incredible that I'm just going to put up on screen for you. I find that really incredible. And this was, they don't let people in. They don't like letting people in after 9 o'clock, which is very odd. It
must be a money thing. It's got to be, hasn't it?
No, it's odd, isn't it? It's
all the roads are doing the same thing now.
I sincerely believe the authorities, or a section of, or whether keep it sort of compartmentalized, really know what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Slight example. So, one of the early Dogman encounters, the Welsh guy, the former copper, firearms officer, he mentioned about there's a phone at the Department of Agriculture. There's a phone number you call if things get too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And a specific relative of mine actually mentioned that there is at Department of Agriculture there is a number you do call for specific things, and he's the one that mentioned the ISPAS database to me. So so I say the one lady, it's actually up in Yorkshire. It was like she'd had a long-term relationship with a female werewolf, dogman, whatever, and some years back 2 guys with hunting rifles went into the woods, and a few hours later, husband said that there was police and forensics up there, and they were walking out with white trays, and 2 coppers were holding the rifles, so they'd been chewed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of these cases in America like that.
Yeah,
and next it's the FBI and all like that are just swarming the place. You know, you lay up what's going on.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Another little interesting thing was now the locals don't like it, but they're evidently in there's 2 villages. One's Pluckley, which is closest woods, and there's another one, Smarden. Now there has been stories, and like when those people were found, many people, like Ian said, and they were found, you know, unalive, and children and men, and no wounds at all, no wounds to give away what was wrong with them. And police like sort of just like came to a halt all of a sudden and said, no, we're not going to investigate anymore, that's fine, no, carbon monoxide poisoning. What? Hang on a minute, what? It's not like they were in some coach, the exhaust being funneled back into the coach. You know, we're talking out in the open, you know, sort of government. How? So, anyway, there was a guy, and his name was Robert Collins. And in 1964, he investigated accusations that there was a dark cult in Smarden, the village. So I've read some papers on him. There's not a lot out there, but there's some.
Yeah, I think there was quite a lot involved in this, weren't they?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he was 110% sure that at the back of it was a cult. And it was based in the village of Smarden. He didn't have enough time to publish his findings. He didn't have enough time to do that because a little under a year later, he had a mysterious car crash.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Oh, wait, okay. I thought they just found him dead.
Well, he died in he died in a car accident, but it was under circumstances which were a bit unbelievable, if you like. So you know, one of these 1,000-to-1 shots, you know, that are happening.
That's news to me. I thought
if you Google it, Robert Collins investigation of Smarden. He's a private investigator, self-employed private investigator, 1964. But very interesting case, and obviously it just petered out after his death. Just petered out. Nothing more was heard or said. And this wood is slap bang in the middle of both those villages.
Well, can't wait for tomorrow's episode.
Well, yeah. I mean, as I say, I hope, God willing, I'll have enough signal to do a live. But I will be trying to do a live. I'll have a backup of the 4K camera anyway, rolling all the while. So you know, regardless of whether I've got signal or not, it will still be rolling. But yeah, I'm entering it with an open mind. You know.
What time is this happening? I'm sort of away tomorrow morning. I'm looking at some woods.
Oh yeah, you've got an interesting thing about woods and your trail cams.
My mom.
Haven't you?
Have I?
Yes, you have.
You've lost me. I don't know. Have I?
No. The wood where you can only.
The wood. Yes. That's where I'm going tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm going to have a look. Yes, but I can the only thing that annoys me, I can't put my trail cameras up for weeks. It's got to be certain times. It's understandable, which I've explained to you. They have something to do with children's activities.
I know why. I've sussed it. Yeah, because yeah.
Well, I'm going there tomorrow morning, early on. Won't be there early on. She'll be around the woods, and we're going to have a chat. So, just be posted. Anyway, I don't want to be a damper, but I'm always like booting on all the time. Nearly 2 hours is up there.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the fire before you go.
Wow, I bet you can see that from space.
The fire. At the end of the day, that's like, you know, honestly, you know.
Can I just quickly mention about the same time as the Pluckley Woods mass event? I think it's either 47 or maybe 49. The woman found stuffed inside a birch tree.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, a sacrifice.
How old was she? What happened?
She was. No, this is the thing. They reckon it was a ritualistic killing, but apparently back in the day, to protect a witch, you would find an innocent woman, ritually kill her, and stuff her inside a birch tree. And yeah, this was to protect like a coven or a witch. And but the thing was, the name on the tree was like Jenny or Joan, and she was blonde-haired or something like that. But this apparently this custom goes way back. So if a witch or a coven was about to be exposed, they would find a woman of good standing or whatever, ritually kill her and stuff her in a birch tree.
Where does that stand nowadays?
I don't know.
Right. Okay. No, I've never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's about the same time as the Pluckley Wood. I mean, it's about 2-3 years after the Watson chap that was killed in February '45.
Yeah.
In near Stafford, Marston, and he was ritualistic killed because he said he was a wizard or a warlock.
He's a warlock.
And he was also, he had a relationship with a canine, a wild black canine.
Yeah, they reckon he was doing sexual acts or something, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've read that. I'm going to admit. Hi, everybody. Thanks for
that. Quickly on that last question. Yeah, Alistair Crowley, he climbed K2. Yeah. Also, most difficult of all, one of the most difficult climbs is the Dover Cliffs because they're made of chalk and they're very chalky and they break away easily. But he was one of only a handful of people to attempt and successfully climb the Cliffs of Dover. He must have known about cryptids. Yeah, Tolkien was in the Golden Dawn too. Yeah, I heard. I thought you were a member of Church of Light, Phil, and an exorcist. No, actually, I was a minister at the Church of Life. That's where I was. One of
You're breaking up.
Yeah, where I was. Right. Let's have a look here.
Dawn was going to end it, wasn't she? Then I think.
Yeah. I will take some. Listen, we're nearly up to 2 hours. Thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate it. If you one by one want to say goodbye, and then Rox will just take us out of it. Ian, thank you for coming on.
No worries. Thank you for the invite. Oh, a pleasure as always.
Lovely. No worries. Take care, mate. See you again soon. Spoon
All
even.
Right. See you,
Ian. Colt. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody, and everybody who sent questions. It's been absolutely fantastic. Please keep it up because it really does mean a lot to this channel, and we're going to try and grow it and grow it and grow it. So you know, get everybody to watch it. Just force them to watch it. Put matchsticks on their eyelids, everything. Just tie them down. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Roxy. Thanks, Dawn, and thanks for everybody who has sent questions in. And I will be back next week. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Right. Okay. And I shall go. And remember, guys, with Colin, and I'll put Colin's YouTube up, and with Ian as well. You can see his YouTube. He's got some great stuff on there. There's no frills, but like with Colin, Colin's got some fantastic on his YouTube. The Dark 66. He's got some fantastic fantastic accounts and stories which he's sort of dramatized, but he's kept faithfully to the original story, if you like, but he's just fluffed it up, make it sound really cool with sound effects and stuff. Really good. If you want a bit of entertainment, honestly, that's good. When you think about it, my God, that actually happened. Yeah, brilliant. And Ian, his stuff on there, brilliant. I would watch it as well. But for me, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, as I say, watch out tomorrow. I reckon about 8 o'clock. Starts getting about dark about 8. I'll be doing a live, but I want to get in there when it's dark, you know. So, but if the live breaks up, then it's you know, I shall try and redo the live, you know, try and attach it again. But I'll do my very utmost. But anyway, it's going to be recorded, all of it. Okay. So anyway, till then, till tomorrow. Good night. Take care. Thank you for watching.
Well, another fantastic chat there, guys. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody putting up with coming away with us. It was a bit fraught at the beginning, but we got there, I think, at the end. Just lovely having you all with us. The questions have been fantastic, and thank you so much, Kate and Dawn, for all the hard work you do. And Colin and Ian, fantastic as always. Thank you very much. I'm going to be having a one-to-one with giraffes tomorrow, so I'm going to go to sleep. Good night, everybody.